Welcome to Marketing Hotspots, where myself, John and Ben are here to help you identify the golden marketing schools opportunities in the education sector. In each video, we'll dive into the upcoming events, themes and funding releases that will supercharge your next campaign. We've seen the impact that pairing your message around relevant occasions can have on engagement, lead generation and ultimately sales. Today, we focus on the marketing gems coming up in February and March as days become lighter in the lead up to early Easter. So what are schools focusing on after half term?
Well, it's a short half term with an early Easter, so it will be packed to bursting almost with events. And secondary schools will be shifting into full exam mode, and Year 6 students will be kind of moving towards their preparations for Key Stage 2 SATs. So it's kind of exam focused, but as I say, lots going on. This means, of course, that revision classes will be in full swing, addressing gaps found in the recent mock exams, though there is always pressure to actually just get through the syllabus, particularly at GCSE and A-levels. There's so much in those syllabuses that they have to kind of keep going right to the very end. Local authority-run schools, they reach the end of their financial year at the end of March and will be setting their budgets for April onwards. So they'll be looking to work out where their spending is going to be and what their focus is going to be on that new financial year. And school holidays wise, as I say, Easter is on the 31st of March. School holidays gravitate around that. In Scotland and England, we kind of go back around the 15th of April. Ireland, Northern Ireland and Wales, as a week earlier, 8th of April.
Excellent. And what are the key school events coming up?
Yep, so in March we're still looking at school parents' evenings will be ongoing. And as I've said before, this is a time when school leaders in particular are really feeling that their school is under scrutiny. So anything you can do to tap into that mindset, whether you offer a school parent communication platform, classroom wall art, it all taps into that mindset of school leaders thinking about how parents are going to perceive their school. Also with secondary schools, obviously students will have received the results to their mock exams. Yeah. It will focus a lot of minds, and if you're an online learning provider or a study platform, you really need to get in touch with those heads of department or school leaders and let them know about the quantifiable improvements that your platform can offer. So not just reaching out with a wishy-washy message, but telling them, you know, if your students spend X number of hours per week using this platform, they will typically see X percent improvements in their results. That kind of message really gets teachers to stand up and notice, I think.
Excellent. And as exam preparation is coming to the fore, what's happening with creativity in schools?
Well, creativity, John just mentioned about kind of making a school kind of look great for your for people coming in, and we have things like spring concerts and plays in this period of time. A spring concert, as a former head of department, music department, were a massive event for us. It was a chance for you to showcase your orchestras, your bands, your choirs, all the musical groups that you've been working on through the school year, just before you hit the big exam period. And with that, it's also a chance for individuals to have a dry run or even the real thing of their GCSE or A-level solo performance items or group performances. And this comes in the same kind of idea with the drama plays. You know, they're preparing for their final submissions for their exams, so it's a really good time for them to do this to a lovely, friendly audience. It's a great opportunity for schools to market themselves, and it's, as John was saying, for things like wall art and that sort of thing. It just helps them, gives them a reason to invite parents and other stakeholders in and really show off their facilities and what they can do.
And lots of content for their online marketing campaigns as well.
Absolutely.
So what are the main funding opportunities that are happening alongside this?
Yeah, there's three main ones. So academies and free schools will receive the third of four recovery premium instalments in March, early March, and that's government funding specifically designed to help students that have fallen behind as a result of the pandemic. We've also got P and Sports Premium, the second allocation of that for maintained schools. And lastly, Pupil Premium, arriving in late March, another instalment of that.
Okay, so there's excellent opportunities for education providers to really be thinking about. And a wider theme that comes up at this time is sustainability.
Yeah, and this is a theme that children are really engaged with. They really go for it. I think they can really see that it impacts their future, and it's something that teachers are using as a great project work. Towards the end of March, we've got 3 events. First is Food Waste Action Week, which is the 3rd week of March, and we'll be encouraging people this year to choose what you'll use, and it's highlighting things like buying loose fruit and vegetables, so you're avoiding things with packaging and that sort of thing, and inspiring people to do whatever they can to keep things sustainable. There's fantastic scope here for things like recycling related projects in this area, from making posters to writing poems and repurposing waste, and making musical instruments out of milk cartons and things like that. And children seem to be really engaged in this important work, as I've said. During that week, it's the 22nd of March, is World Water Day, and the theme this year is Water for Peace. It's another opportunity for resources providers to support learning and the awareness of the importance of fresh water. And then lastly, we have Earth Hour, which is on the last Saturday in March. This has been going since 2007. It's generally a time where we're encouraged to turn the lights off for an hour, just to kind of give the Earth a chance to breathe. And this year, though, they're encouraging us again to just do a little bit more, do something positive, anything for our planet. There's plenty here to spark the imagination of learners of all stages, whether it's advanced science students looking at technical advances in sustainability through AI, to children putting together presentations on their school learning platforms. There's so much to get your teeth into when it comes to sustainability.
Excellent. And whilst young people are thinking about their futures when it comes to the planet and sustainability, they're also thinking about their futures in terms of what sort of jobs might overlap with that.
Yeah, that's correct. Anyone in the careers sector, there's a couple of really key periods coming up. National Careers Week, which is 4th to 9th of March, and also Open Doors Construction Week, which is the 18th to the 23rd of March. Also, there's British Science Week, which is a really prominent occasion within schools, runs from the 8th to the 17th of March this year, and that's a great period not just for careers providers but any STEM resource provider to step in and offer resources or solutions, workshops around this year's theme of smashing stereotypes. So anyone in that space would typically get a really good response during that 10-day period, or perhaps the fortnight leading up to that period.
Excellent. And that's not to forget literacy events as well.
Yes, and I've got 3 of them as well. So the first is World Book Day, which is on the 7th of March, and this is the great day where in primary schools generally the children all dress up, and it's either as their favourite literary character, or generally these days it seems to be Marvel characters and things like that. But anyway, something to do with the stories. They dress up and have a bit of fun with that. Then later in March is Shakespeare Week. This is from the 18th to 24th of March. And this week also includes World Poetry Day. So with the work of Shakespeare so central to English students of all ages, this Awareness Week provides a great way to enthuse children about Britain's most influential literary figure. And it's fitting that this week is built around World Poetry Day. And it's not just focusing on the literacy side of things, but it's also thinking about using words as expression. So a really important week there and day with World Poetry Day.
Brilliant. Now, amid all of these excellent themes that are coming up for marketing opportunities, what is the essential advice you would give to some of our education providers out there?
Yeah, well, I think this time of the year, what we normally see is more of a focus on the run-up to the release of the new state school budgets in April. So late February through to March and then into April is when typically you'd see schools planning their higher spend purchasing decisions. So
Yeah.
ICT suppliers or premises suppliers, that's a really crucial point to be getting your message across and looking to get site surveys scheduled for the summer term, ready for summer term installations. So anyone who offers a product or service where the spend is a little bit higher than the average, you want to be planning your marketing through March and into April there.
Brilliant. So there's lots going on in schools at this time, and if you're thinking about some of those wider purchases as well, this is the time to really start engaging with schools. These are the education marketing hotspots you'll want to harness for this February and March. But how can you stay on top of these opportunities throughout the school year? Enter Campus, our industry-leading education marketing platform with live education calendars alongside education news bulletins, global Silent Schools data, and so much more. So you can be proactive in seizing the opportunities for growth in the spring term. Contact our team today for a campus demo and elevate your education marketing game.